Mutual fund data flashing on your screen for the month of September. Relatively flat compared to last month. There is a total AUM data, mind you. The sectoral thematic inflows are now at 1221 crore compared to 3893 crore. So thematic inflows. The net equity inflow marginally lower compared to August, 30,000 crore in comparison to 33,000 crores in August. And that is the second straight month of declines that you have seen. It declined from July, it has declined from August as well. Large cap funds have also seen a drop in the net inflow that has come in, 2,300 crore worth of inflow compared to 2,800 crores in August. And the small cap funds also have seen marginally lesser flows in comparison to the month gone by. The ELSS funds have seen outflows this time around in comparison to inflows in August. Suranjana Borthakur, who's the head of distribution and strategic alliances at Mirae Asset Invstment Managers, is now joining in. Suranjana, good afternoon. Thank you for joining in. What do you make of these numbers prima facie? Would you be a little concerned that it has declined for the second straight month, or you would be happy for the fact that it is still well over 30,000 crores on a monthly basis, and you would await more clarity based on the SIP numbers?
Yeah, I think good afternoon. As you've mentioned, it's not a very large drop in the numbers. It's actually from a 33,000 in equity, it has come down to about 30,000 crores. But if you look at the components, the different segments which are there, I think what has happened is in the July numbers, we saw a big surge in equity, which went up to about 42,000. But a large part of that was the sectoral thematic inflows, which has tapered down to a large extent. I think that is around somewhere around 1,200 crores this month. But along with one NFO, which also happened, which I think collected around 700 crores or so. But if we look at the other categories, I think good to see that the flexi-cap category continues to be above 7,000 crores. So that's a category which has seen an upside in the last couple of months. And also the large cap category has been consistent around 2,500 crores. We also see that the mid and small have not seen too much of a change. In fact, last month also around 5,000 crores in mid cap, and similar numbers this month. And also in the small cap, we see that from a 4,500 or so last month, it's around 4,300 this month. I think other categories, if you see, largely have remained the same. One category where I see an upside is the value contra segment, where from like 1,000 crore average in the last couple of months, I think it has gone to about 2,000 crores. But I don't see any reason to be concerned at this point in time. I think, yeah, like you said, we would await the SIP numbers. To my mind, the hybrid inflows have been impacted a little more. I think we've seen around 9,300 crores of inflows which have happened. But the biggest component of this is probably the arbitrage numbers coming down, because we've been seeing around 8,000 crores of inflows in arbitrage, which is now showing negative of 900 crores. I think the category which has caught steam is probably the equity saving, which is seen almost like 100% upside from last month.
Suranjana, correct me if I'm wrong, and just thinking out loud here, this rush of IPOs that we saw in the month of September, would that have had any sort of bearing in this subdued inflow that you have seen in comparison to last month? Because we had almost, 25 to 30 IPOs opening in one single month.
Yes, you're right. That could have had some impact. But like I said, that I don't see a very large difference in the numbers. So it's not like a dramatic shift that has happened. In fact, if we look at, in the past YTD numbers from January till now, this has been one of the good months, because on an average, I mean, the spike was actually in the July numbers, which was 42,000 in equity. But in the last couple of months, I think 30,000 is a good number. I think the other part which is seeing the upside is also the passive ETF numbers. I think while gold ETF has been catching steam every month, I think the other ETF numbers have seen quite a jump actually, from 1,000 crores last month or 1,500 crores has gone up to about 8,000 crores now. So I think silver is the other part which is also catching a lot of attention in the market.
Do you anticipate this trend to persist, this significant inflows that you're seeing in terms of the gold and silver ETFs, especially considering how the prices have moved up in the last month or so? Do you see that trend continuing even at such elevated levels?
Yes, I think what is happening is, there is one part of investors who are building in this segment as an allocation in their portfolio, but there is this other segment who is probably also just chasing the returns to a large extent. So I would think till these levels keep on catching pace, the way it's been catching up in terms of the returns that we've been seeing, there will be some amount of chasing which will happen, but we will have to look at certain other nuances. I mean, you would be aware of the silver ETF, the crunch which has just come in terms of the physical silver. All of that will also have a role to play. I see that till the global uncertainties remain and till, gold still looks attractive with the central banks buying more and more gold. I think gold looks like a buy which could continue for some more time to come, unless there is some kind of sharp correction that we see here.
Suranjana Borthakur, thank you so much for sparing time and joining us to decode the mutual fund data for the month of September. The bottom line being that it's not a very sharp drop, but a drop nonetheless in comparison to the month of August, be it the equity flows, be it in the large cap funds, the mid cap funds, or the small cap funds. All of them have seen a decline in terms on a month-on-month basis. Not significant, but a drop nonetheless. Now, in a departure from a tradition, the Cabinet's Appointments Committee has revised guidelines for appointing directors and CEOs at public sector banks, paving the way for State Bank of India to induct one out of its 4 managing directors from the private sector. Now, the move marks a significant shift in PSU bank appointments, and as a result of which, you are seeing the kind of reaction that you are in these PSU banks, be it SBI or be it the lesser free float banks, say the UCO banks and the Indian Overseas Banks and the likes, all of them trading with gains of between 2 to 4%. Take a short break. More news and updates follow on the other side.